Welcome to week 2 of Design Development of Educational Technology. What you've just seen is all the towers from this past week. Some of the highlights. We've seen towers built with pizza boxes and textbooks and iPods. Some of that made me nervous, some of the things you built things with, but we didn't have any claims of anything breaking, so we're really happy about that. It's a success for week 1. One of the great things that we saw in that constructive activity that you did this past week was that people built all sorts of wonderful things and got good feedback. We want to continue that spirit as we move into this week and start working on things that you'll move towards your final project, which is another creative project, a pitch for a new educational technology. This week is your initial pitch, and we really want to foster that creativity, and I think that creativity is something that everybody in this course seems to really want to work with, and we hope that you'll be able to have a chance to do that this week and in the coming weeks. An important part of that is going to be facilitating the good kind of community and sense of feedback that you can get around those ideas. So we do have some course guidelines for peer feedback, and we really recommend that everybody takes a look at those this week. There's a URL that we're displaying now that should allow you to get quick access to that page. So please take a look there. Take some of that feedback to heart. Some of the expectations include being honest, being specific, being concrete, being constructive, and being objective. And most importantly, that good textual feedback, even if it's not your first language, just take some time to think about the text that you're giving in that feedback, not just the quantitative feedback. So please make sure that you do provide that. On the other side, be open to interpretation in a positive sense, that the glass is half full, that the person's feedback was meant to be given in good context, and you should interpret that charitably. If you missed last week, it's not a problem. You can catch up. You can always go back and catch up on those videos, but please feel free to jump into this week. I think this course project, which will involve some synchronous work with your peers, will be important to jump into this one in real time. So please feel free to jump into groups and start working on that project, even if you missed a little bit of last week. And to help in that regard, we've started a forum that's the sort of notes from last week, the class notes from last week, both in terms of what happened in the forums, good conversation, and what happened in the videos. So if you missed last week and you want to try to catch up quickly, you're welcome to take a look at those, and we hope your peers will provide feedback that will be useful to you. On that note of peers and working with groups, I think it's one of the really hallmarks of this course is how much we're trying to foster that feeling. And we think that for the most part it's going really well. There's lots of good groups out there. If you haven't joined a group, we really recommend that you do join a group, and we'll be trying to make some suggestions around other kinds of groups you might join based on geography or time you like to work. But it'll be really important as you're working on this project this week that you join a group, because we want people to give their feedback within those groups first. So when you come up with your initial pitch, it should feel like something that's safe, a group of friends that you're sharing your idea with in those communities and those groups. So please feel free to join those groups and give that feedback first in those smaller communities. And then, as for all the great ideas that we hope arise there and we know will arise there, share those back out to the main forum so everybody can see those great ideas. But giving them in the groups first will give a chance for you to iterate on those. So you might get some feedback in that group and then iterate on that idea before you post it back out to the main group, where they'll be voting, and we'll hopefully see some great ideas rise to the top this week as we have voting in those forums as well. You'll get a chance to vote on each of those ideas. Use your votes as you see fit, but sparingly. We want to see some of the really great things to rise to the top. You can always use the sort of like button to just sort of say, like, this was a nice idea, but save your votes for things that you think are really great, and we'll see those rise to the top this week. The other way we see you using groups is working with your peers. So these don't need to be projects that you work on by yourself. You're welcome to work with other people. 1, 2, or 3 other people is a nice group size. So find those other people who might be interested to work with you, and feel free to submit, when you submit to the forums, a group project. You're welcome to work by yourself, but we really encourage you to try to work with other people if you can. And we're trying to shape the future of this course as we move through this semester, and hopefully future iterations of this and related courses. We're trying to take your feedback into account, and we've changed some things in the forums itself, like introduce threading into the main comments here. And a lot of you can help shape the forums as well, and the tenor of the conversation by being positive, being constructive, contributing ideas. And so continuing to shape all of our learning experiences by doing that. This week, I think, will be an interesting week as well in terms of the conversation that we see in the videos. We have some great conversations about deep learning, both the underlying theories about how we get people to learn deeply, as well as some great examples of technology. I know when I went to these interviews, I was really interested to hear these people speak, and I think you will be as well, about some great stories about educational technologies of different kinds. And so coming up also in week 3, this past week we had the Ask Me Anything, which hopefully went well. I'm doing this in advance, just to let you know. But in week 3, which hasn't happened yet, we'll be organizing a video chat session through Talkabout, which is a tool that lets you interact with your peers in a more personal way. There's information on the course website that will point you to the times that those are running. This is our first time using this, so we hope it goes well, and we hope that you'll give us feedback on how well it goes. So we'll see you live in week 3, and you'll see me again next week in one of these update videos.